Do you remember the first time you saw All in the Family? The opening song, Those Were the Days, had a special way of drawing you in. Archie and Edith were at the piano, playfully arguing in a loving way. The show felt so genuine that you could almost forget they were actors. Then there was Gloria, Archie's strong and independent daughter. She wasn't just his little girl. She represented a new generation. But there's an interesting story about Sally Struthers that you might not know. The actress who played Gloria was part of one of the most important sitcoms ever. Let's look at a moment from 2019 when ABC made a live version of All in the Family. They had actors take on famous roles and perform a classic episode live for today's viewers. You might think Sally Struthers, who starred in the show for years, would be excited. But when asked about the live shows, she surprised everyone by saying, "What is the point?" Sally didn't intend to be harsh. She wasn't trying to be negative. She felt that you can't recreate something special like that. All in the Family happened at just the right time with the perfect cast and writers. It wasn't just a TV show. It was a big deal that was brave and controversial in a way that TV hadn't done before. No live performance, no matter how great, could match what the original show achieved. Sally had a point. Can anyone truly replace Carol O'Connor as Archie Bunker or Jean Stapleton as Edith? Sally didn't think so. She said nobody could take Carol's place and no one could match Jean Stapleton. It wasn't just about talent, it was about how well the cast worked together, like perfect puzzle pieces. But how did Sally fit into that picture? Let's look at her early years. She wasn't always a well-known TV star. In fact, her beginnings were quite different. Sally was born in Portland, Oregon on July 28, 1947. Her childhood wasn't perfect. Her parents separated when she was in third grade and didn't officially divorce until she was 17. Her dad was a doctor but wasn't around much. Sally loved him and would pretend to be sick just to see him. This little game might have been her first acting experience. Sally wanted to be a doctor like her dad, but when she found out that surgery wasn't for her, she switched to art. She even won a college scholarship for it, but later realized that art wasn't what she truly wanted either. She wanted something bigger, so she applied to the Pasadena Playhouse College of Theater Arts, and she got in with a scholarship. At the Pasadena Playhouse, Sally fully dedicated herself to acting, and she started pursuing it more and more. From young children to elderly women, she learned it all. Makeup, dancing, dialects, everything she needed to become a great actress. But despite all that training, breaking into Hollywood wasn't easy. After graduating, she spent 3 long years fighting to survive, doing whatever it took to make ends meet. She worked as a waitress, a receptionist, and even sold popcorn at a movie theater. Every audition was a chance, but the big break remained elusive. Yet, it wasn't all struggle. In 1968, Sally's perseverance began to pay off. She landed a few small roles in films, each one a stepping stone toward the breakthrough that was waiting just around the corner. Unfortunately, neither movie was ever released. After that, things went badly for her. She got cast in a commercial, but the company chose not to show it. She was also cast in a role in the Jonathan Winters show, but the show was canceled before she could film her part. At one point, she was out of money, her father had died, and she felt lost about her future. Just when it seemed like nothing would go right, Sally got a chance. She landed a small role in a Jack Nicholson film. In 5 Easy Pieces, she only had about 5 minutes of screen time, but people took notice of her. Doors began to open, and she landed some TV roles, including playing Pebbles Flintstone in the Pebbles and Bam Bam show. For a while, it looked like things were going well for her. The big change came in 1971 when Sally tried out for a new sitcom called All in the Family. This show was unlike anything else on TV back then. It was bold and willing to discuss important issues like racism, sexism, and conflicts between generations. Norman Lear, the creator of the show, wanted the right actress to play Gloria, Archie Bunker's lively and strong-willed daughter. When Sally auditioned, Norman saw that she had the warmth, humor, and energy he needed. Sally got the role, and her life changed dramatically. This was the role that would make her famous, but at the time, Sally had no idea how successful All in the Family would become, and he didn't plan on his work leading to her successful career. She just knew it was an important opportunity. Sally finally got the chance to show what she could do. She stepped onto the set feeling excited and nervous. She had outperformed nearly 100 other actresses to win the role of Gloria Stivic, Archie Bunker's strong but caring daughter. She was chosen not just for her skills, but for the energy she brought to the character. Later, she could laugh about the fact that she had briefly dated her on-screen husband, Rob Reiner, before they ever imagined they would play a married couple. It was one of those strange coincidences that only Hollywood could create. The early days on set were filled with learning curves and surprises. Sally quickly realized just how daring the show was. All in the Family wasn't your typical feel-good sitcom. It tackled racism, sexism, and politics head-on, often with a boldness that left audiences stunned. For Sally, it was thrilling to be part of something so groundbreaking, but it was also challenging. She wanted Gloria to be more than just a cheerleader for her husband's ideals. At first, Gloria was written as a character who mainly reacted to Archie's complaints. She didn't have much depth and often found herself caught between her dad and her husband, choosing one side without expressing her own opinions. Sally enjoyed playing Gloria, but felt there was more to her character. She wanted Gloria to be more independent and to have her own views. But at that time, Gloria didn't show that. Sally brought warmth to her role, and viewers adored her for it. However, as the show became more popular, Sally felt frustrated with Gloria's small role. While Archie, Edith, and Mike had strong personalities, Gloria often seemed like a background character. Sally wanted to know more about who Gloria was. She didn't want to just be Archie's daughter or Mike's wife. She wanted to make Gloria a real person. This change in how she viewed her character happened a few years into the series. Sally understood that if she wanted Gloria to improve, she needed to voice her thoughts. So she talked to the producers about her concerns and asked for more depth in Gloria's character. Sally wanted Gloria to be more like a real woman with dreams, flaws, and her own identity. The conversation was tough at first, but gradually the writers started to pay attention. As Gloria's character became more developed, it not only benefited Gloria, but also helped Sally grow. Sally felt proud of her role because she made the character relatable to the audience. People didn't just watch the show, they really cared about it. When Sally walked down the street, fans would call out Gloria's name or ask about Archie or Mike, as if they were real people. They believed so much in her on-screen marriage to Rob Reiner that they often thought they were actually married in real life, even when Sally told them her real husband was someone else. People didn't believe that being part of such a successful show had its benefits, but it also had its difficulties. Fame had its ups and downs. Sally and her co-stars could not go out without being recognized, and there was always pressure to keep the show successful. However, for Sally, the good things were much greater than the bad. She got to work with some of the most talented people in the industry, including Carol O'Connor and Gene Stapleton. Carol, who played Archie, became more than just a co-star. Sally's co-star became a second father to her after she lost her own father. When she joined the show, she was still sad, but Carol helped her a lot by giving advice, support, and hugs. Sally later said that working with Carol and his wife Nancy felt like having a new family. Carol even introduced her to her husband, which made their bond even stronger. Gene Stapleton, who played Edith, also had a big influence on Sally. Gene's quiet strength and grace were inspiring to her. Sally looked up to Gene both on and off screen. She admired how Gene added depth to the character Edith while being kind and humble in real life. Sally often said that Gene taught her the importance of subtlety in acting, how to express so much with just a look or a gesture. Over the years, Sally became more confident in her role and appreciated what All in the Family achieved. The show was not just entertaining, it also encouraged discussions about real issues. Sally was proud to be in a show that encouraged viewers to see things in new ways. By the late 1970s, she and her co-star Rob Reiner, who played Gloria and Mike, felt it was time to move on after almost 10 years. Although she loved the show and her colleagues, Sally chose not to renew her contract because she was ready for new opportunities. She worked hard to show herself and everyone else that she could do more than just play Gloria on All in the Family. Even though she took on other projects, the lessons from that show stuck with her. She was thankful for the opportunities it brought her and the memories it created. As fans recognized her on the street years later, she understood just how much All in the Family meant to people. It was more than just a show, it was a big part of their lives. Sally's role as Gloria made her a favorite among TV viewers. After All in the Family, she took on different acting roles to show her skills. One significant project was the TV movie Intimate Strangers, which was among the first to address domestic violence on network television. In this film, she played a woman who was physically abused, which was very different from her cheerful character Gloria. This role allowed her to deal with a serious topic and reach out to audiences in a new way. She showed a different side of her talent that wasn't just about acting. Sally wanted to use her platform to highlight real-life issues. She surprised her fans by taking on funny roles, serious parts, and even voice acting. Do you remember the Pebbles and Bam Bam show? That was Sally voicing Pebbles Flintstone when she was a teenager. Later, she also voiced characters in Tailspin and Dinosaurs, showing that her appeal went beyond live action. Her ability to connect with audiences in any format kept her popular. Sally's career was successful and active. She didn't just act. She also became the spokesperson for the Christian Children's Fund, now called Child Fund. You might remember the touching commercials where Sally talked to people about how important it is to sponsor a child. She worked with this organization for many years, highlighting the struggles of children living in poverty worldwide. For Sally, this work was more than just a job, it was her passion. She said her grandmother inspired her to help others. Sally saw the opportunity to make a big impact and welcomed it. However, her life wasn't just about work, she also made time for love and family. In a touching mix of drama and comedy, Sally played Virginia, a spirited resident of a retirement home, alongside Ted Danson and a talented group of veteran actors. She felt excited and grateful for the project, calling it a gift, especially after the quieter time she had after Gilmore Girls. This experience reminded her that she still has a valuable role in today's entertainment world. Sally's career has had its highs and lows, but she has always handled them with grace. Sally often thinks about how much All in the Family influenced her life. It gave her fame and taught her the importance of telling meaningful stories. The lessons she learned from Carol O'Connor, Gene Stapleton, and the whole cast have stayed with her and help her with every new role. Even now, Sally keeps working hard, whether on stage, in front of the camera, or voicing a character. She believes in a simple motto: you rest, you. Rust and Sally Struthers are not planning to slow down anytime soon.